What is root, and why should an Android device be rooted? Rooting your device is kind of a generic term. It's a process that you got to go through, and I'll get into that more later. But I'm going to go into the File Explorer just to explain a couple things. When your phone isn't rooted, you can look at your root partition, but you can't make any changes to it. Phone is rooted, you get super user permissions, and you can look at the root folder. The other thing that you can do with root is run root apps. And I wanted to say how you root your phone. You gotta go to your device's manufacturer's website, and you got to, I guess, unlock the bootloader on your device, and that way you'll be able to get into recovery. And from there, you want to go to a website, and you can Google it. Just Google Android SDK, and it'll take you to this website, and you can download some software, put them on your computer, on your laptop, whatever, and you need to extract a file onto your CD, and it's called SDK Tools. And then you'll type some stuff into the command prompt, and then you'll be able to get into your recovery, and you flash a super user, the super user zip, and the meta info is just saying, yeah, this stuff is supposed to be here in the system. And what it'll do is it'll put the super user app or APK into system, and also the super user binary. And the app is what controls the binary. And then you'll be rooted. Now, well, what the heck does all this mean? Well, to help you out, go to one of these three websites. Just Google your device, and XDA Developers is one good website. Another one's called Android Central, and also Android Forums. And you should have, if you have, say, for instance, an HTC or Samsung device, there should be a lot of, I guess you could call it aftermarket support for you. And it'll show you step by step what you need to do to root your phone. Now, the recovery I was talking about, I went ahead and, because I can't reboot into the phone while I'm using the screencaster to record this, so I went ahead and saved some pictures that I took inside of recovery to show you what it looks like. Here it is. There we are. And this is the main screen in my recovery. But what you want to do when you're in recovery, go to install from SD card, and it'll give you an options. And I have the super user zip inside a download file, so I just go into downloads, and then it'll show the zip files that are in there, and then I just click on super user, and it'll flash that all by itself. That's all you gotta do, just flash it, and then reboot your phone. You'll be rooted. It's that easy. I mean, it's not really easy because all the stuff you have to do before that, but yeah, it took me a couple days to root this device, but as long as you can follow directions, you'll be alright. And just a side note, when you root your device, it will void your warranty, and just make sure you got to read a lot and just stay a couple steps ahead of yourself, and because you can mess up your phone. It's called a brick in your device, to where it won't even boot up anymore. But like I said, just follow the directions and you'll be alright. So let's go a little bit more into being able to write your system. And when I first got this phone, I'm going to go show you the partitions that are on your phone. There's 4 main ones, and they're your system, your data partition, your cache partition, and also the SD card, or your external storage. You might say SD card 0 or something like that. But in that first row you see system, data, cache, SD card. And in that last column is the amount of memory free in each partition. You see where it says 7 megabytes free. When I first got the phone, there was over 300 megabytes of free memory, and so you're able to utilize that free space when you're rooted. So I wanted to mention that because that'll save you some room on excuse me, on your data partition by being able to move stuff over to system. And this may have happened to some of you, but like you'll have 2 or 3, maybe even 400 megabytes of room left on data, and it won't. You'll go to install an application, it'll say you don't have enough room left, which is crap. So some other applications that you can put on the system are Android Weather, Google Music, Google Plus, pretty much any Google application you can put on the system. You can put Dropbox in the system, Facebook, and you can also put Twitter in there. Think of anything else. Oh, another one you can put on there is an application called Viper for audio for Android, and it's they have a lot better audio drivers. The next thing I want to mention is that you're going to be able to get full control over your device's processors or CPUs. For instance, mine came with, it's a dual core processor, and originally it was at 1134 megahertz, and CPU 1 was totally turned off by default. That's how the phone came. And so when you're rooted, you can overclock your CPU, and that's good for like if you're playing a video game emulator and it's kind of glitchy. That'll help with that. And also you can underclock your CPU, and that helps to save battery. But I usually keep mine about 1.4 gigahertz. Okay, the next thing I want to go into is that you're going to be able to theme your phone a lot more when you're rooted. And I'll go ahead and apply a couple things here. And I want you to notice, like when I bring down the status bar, I was able to change the fonts on the phone. You see flashlight, airplane mode, Bluetooth, those are all in a different font. And this one in particular is called Rosemary. But not everything gets changed. Like you see the notifications and the quick settings. Those are in the fallback theme, or fallback font. Okay, now I've gone over a few general things that you can do with root. And now I want to get into some specifics. Let's go into root apps. Using root apps. When you go to use a root application, and for instance, I'm going to go into Lucky Patcher. This is a pretty popular root app. When you first go into it, it's going to call up on the super user binary, which I have Super SU, and it takes care of all root requests. And super user is going to ask you, hey, you want to grant this thing privileges? And it should do it after it loads all the applications. There it goes. And go ahead and grant it. And now it's going to be able to do what it was made to do. And with this one, you can make like custom licenses. And well, I made a best root apps video for 2014, so you may want to check that out. So I hope you're still hanging in there with me. I know this is going along kind of slow, but I actually want to show you how to do stuff instead of just telling you. So I'm going to go into showing you how to block ads. You can get rid of those pesky advertisements off of your phone. For instance, I'm going to Pirate Bay browser. And there's an ad there. I hate you. Go into Android weather, and there's an ad there. Go, let's get on the internet here. And there's a way to get rid of these. I'll look something up here. How about tacos? Taco Bell, taco recipes. There's another advertisement when I'm browsing the web. Now, the way to get rid of those is to use host files. And just to show you, when you root your phone, you get to search and edit your system partition, or your root partition. And the host files go in system, etc. And I don't have any right now, so I'm going to put them on there. Copy this over. And I made a video about where to get this, it's a pretty comprehensive host file. It'll block a lot of stuff. And after you copy it, you got to change the permissions back to read, write, read, read. Read that right there. Now, let's go ahead and kill the internet and those other applications. Alright. I'll go back in the Pirate Bay browser. Where you at? Oh, it's gone. Now, the bad thing about Android weather is that with some applications it won't get rid of the area. See how it's the ad is blocked, but that white part's still there, and there is a way to get rid of that, and I'll show you later. Go back into the on the internet here, and back at this same site. You gonna pop up there? You gonna be there? Huh? No? Okay. Alright. So that's a good reason to root your phone. Alright. Here's how to block that space in Android weather. That one right there. When you're rooted, you can install the exposed framework. And there's a module called, where's it at? Min Guard. And recently they actually took this off of XDA developers, but you can I mean, you can still download it, but they're not developing it anymore. And it's got to load up all the applications. You can also block ones that are on your system as opposed to your data partition, which is rare. And find it here. Did I pass it? There it is. Android weather. Blocked. I'll go ahead and kill. Alright. There we go. It's blocked. It looks a lot better. Much more aesthetically pleasing. More about the exposed framework modules. And this video is getting long, so I'm going to wrap it up with Wi-Fi tether. And this will let you, if you have 3G, if your Android has 3G, usually your provider will have a hotspot or a native tether, where like mine is Sprint's tether, and they'll charge anywhere from 10 to 20 bucks a month, maybe even 25. But if you're rooted, you can get it for free. And I'm not going to go into a lot of the details on the settings because it varies by device, but I'm sure you can find out how to set it up. There's other YouTube videos, and plus you can get on XDA. They should have info on your phone for it. But if you're out and you're not at a place that has Wi-Fi and you want to use your laptop, you can tether and use your 3G signal to get your laptop to get internet. Like I said, this thing's running long, so I'm going to make a part 2 to this video, and I'm going to go more into the exposed modules. Like there's a YouTube add-away where like on my videos they have advertising on them, so you can get rid of that. A big one is Vivo. If you're watching Vivo's music videos, it'll get rid of those ads. And I'll go into more on theming and custom ROMs. I'll also show you, especially if you're on Boost or Virgin Mobile, you can up your tower priority, which you won't drop calls. I'll go into that Viper for Android, the better audio drivers, and also I'll show you some more stuff that you can do with ROM Toolbox. Thanks for watching.